Our whole universe was in a hot, dense state that nearly 14 billion years ago expansion started. Wait, the earth began to cool, the autotrophs began to drool, Neanderthals developed tools, we built a wall. We built the pyramids. Math, science, history, unraveling the mystery that all started with a Big Bang.
One day, when I was eating manggang hilaw and dip it into a bowl of vinegar, there is one thing that comes up into my mind. And I asked myself about it. How is vinegar made? Is it what we call acetic acid solution? To answer my question, I've done some research. I've done some surveys from my neighborhood. Even I tried to watch my father climbing the coconut tree and seeing the process of making vinegar. After all of my hardship, I come up with this one amazing answer. The vinegar that we know and use in our home is made possible with the process of dilution. So what is the dilution of a solution all about? Well, we know that a solution is made up of two components, namely solute and solvent. In our case, we already know that vinegar is made up of acetic acid and water. Acetic acid is the solute and water is the solvent. Acetic acid is dangerous to use and we can't use it directly. To reduce its effect, we tend to dissolve a small amount of acetic acid and a large amount of water to make it a dilute solution known as vinegar. Now, listen carefully. A solution that contains a small amount of solute dissolved in a solvent is called a dilute solution. Now that we understand the nature and process of making vinegar, let's continue to eat our manggang hilaw and share it with your family and friends. Because at the end of the day, no matter how small or big the amount you gave is, it still makes a difference.
Alam ng mga bata, nakakahawak sila ng germs. With 𝗏𝗏 experts, naghugas sila ng kamay at nag-iwan ng handprint sa isang clean whiteboard. After 24 hours, kitang dumami ang germs. Pero may handprint na naiba. Bakit kaya? Dahil pag naghugas with Safeguard, germ regrowth is reduced for 24 hours. That's why 𝗏𝗏 recommends only Safeguard.
This video will help you in dealing electricity. Here are some tips about the do's and don'ts in handling electricity.
Unplug appliances before performing any services or repairs on them to avoid electric shocks whenever it is repaired. Try to limit the use of electrical equipment to avoid short circuits and of course, to conserve electricity. Make sure that your hands are dry when handling electrical equipment to avoid the chance of a current to pass through your body.
Everybody tells you the things that you should do. But what about the things that should not?
First and foremost, do not poke the electrical equipment with sharp and metallic objects. Do not store any liquids near the circuit. Do not yank electrical cord from the wall. And of course, do not touch an active electric circuit.
Not sure what to do next? Then ask an expert. That's 1 minute. See you next time.
Meron bang proteksyon laban sa higit sa 100 sakit? Oo, meron. The #1 alcohol, Green Cross. Proven na pumapatay ng mga bacteria at viruses na sanhi ng diarrhea, hepatitis A, trangkaso, at napakarami pang sakit. Stop 100+ diseases with Green Cross alcohol. May one defense versus 100+ diseases. Green Cross alcohol, una sa proteksyon.
Hi. It was just another boring day. Nothing to do, nothing to work on. Just sitting and thinking about my ideal crush that surely I can't have.
guess you're doing nothing.
Who are you?
Hi guys, or let me say, hi guy. Did you know just sitting there and doing nothing is absolutely remarkable?
Remarkable? What do you mean?
We are you. Your cells, tissues, organs.
And organ systems.
Yep, we just developed those biological levels of an organization. We're all working towards something called homeostasis. It's a state of balance.
See, we have mentioned about the major body system before and that they work together. Today, we're going to talk about how they work together using something called positive and negative feedback and also how this relates to homeostasis.
So you're in an environment that's very hot, like being outside under the sun for a few hours. Yeah, that's right. That's typically hot. Thanks to nerves which can act as sensors, the brain notices this and sends signals to counteract this variable.
Sweat glands do what they do best. Sweat.
Heat is lost as the sweat evaporates off your skin. You may have some redness too. That's because your blood vessels are getting wider or dilating to help get rid of the heat. This result, whether you realize it or not, enables you to lower your body temperature.
But wait, if you go inside and the air condition is blasting, you will stop sweating. You may even shiver. The muscle construction of shivering can generate heat, and those blood vessels will now decrease in diameter size to help you conserve the heat because it makes harder for heat to escape. This is negative feedback.
We can see that negative feedback brings the body back to the set point, which in this case, it is a stable temperature, keeping a homeostasis. While on the other hand, positive feedback is when instead of giving a counteracting response to some variable, you instead intensify the variable. Positive feedback can be more instead of let's counteract this. One example of that is when the human baby is being born. When a human baby is ready to be born, there is a pressure on the cervix, and that pressure and the hormones involved cause contractions of the uterus. Because that's a big part of how the baby will be born, right?
More release of hormones will equal more contractions and pressure. Contractions help get the baby out, but it's also part of a beautiful illustration of what positive feedback can do.
Knock! Wake up! You're sleep talking.
Huh? Homeostasis? Positive? Negative feedback?